There's an epidemic of pain in America today. I know because I was one of those people who has suffered with neck and back pain for many years. And as a licensed massage therapist, I've learned tricks on how to help people not only relieve, but to eliminate their pain through stretching. I would like to take a few minutes today and talk with you about what causes this neck and shoulder pain and what are some of the things you can do to treat it. So when we speak about causing shoulder pain, how many people realize, especially if you're a student at BYU Idaho, just how repetitive your movements are? Take, for example, a backpack. If you're walking around campus with a backpack and you always carry it on one shoulder, watch what happens to my body as I walk around and I have to counterbalance that weight on my shoulder. This is going to cause the muscles in my back to contract and to raise that shoulder. Now, even if I were to carry it with two straps, it's much more balanced, but then I still have to counterbalance that weight being on my shoulders up. Take, for example, driving. If you're driving your car, what generally happens is your pecs will contract and you'll hold the steering wheel and you'll lean forward to drive. Well, that's also taking your body and pulling it into this hunched form. If you think about when you sleep, I myself am a side sleeper, and each position of sleeping comes with its own benefits and its own faults. But if you take a flat pillow like this, for example, and you try to use this for a side sleeper, look what happens to my body and the center. If my goal is to keep my spine straight and I have a flat pillow and my head goes in, what's happening is the muscles on my neck begin to contract and then it'll lock that way. So when I get up in the morning, I'm going, oh, my neck is really hurting. Well, it's because these muscles have been in a contracted state for hours during the night and I haven't been able to take it through that range of motion. So these, along with many other repetitive movements that we do, women with purses, typing on a computer, leaning over a desk, taking notes, reading books, all of these motions that we do on a very repetitive basis cause a tightening of certain muscle groups. So really quickly, I would like to walk you through 3 or 4 muscles that I think will be beneficial for you to understand. The first ones will be on your neck. On the sides of your neck, think about where a fish would have gills. You have a group of muscles there that is called scalenes. That was the one I was talking about with the pillows, where it might lock this way. And then to counterbalance, these muscles will have to contract to bring you back into center. Well, if you leave one side locked, you may not even notice it, but you may be walking around like this. And since this is contracted, you may find that you're raising your shoulder, which is causing another problem with a muscle that's called levator scapula. And levator scapula's function is to elevate your scapula or to raise your shoulder blade. The insertion point for this is at the top corner of the center of the shoulder blade, and it'll run up your neck and attach to your first, second, and third vertebrae. Think about the example with the backpack. When you have the backpack and your shoulder is being contracted up, that's one of the main muscles that are involved in that. The other muscle that will be involved is traps. Everyone knows when you go to the gym, you've got to work out your traps. But trapezius is actually a very large muscle. It starts at the base of your neck and it comes down, goes around the front of your shoulders, and then it comes down through your back and actually makes a V and centers on the mid-back. So that muscle plays a role in contraction of the shoulders, plays a role in contraction of the back, plays a role in lifting your shoulder along with levator scapula. The interesting thing about that is that levator scapula is specialized for that function, but trapezius oftentimes will say, you know what, I got this. So he'll actually get tightened up, and you'll notice that people get like a clump of muscle up here where they're just always tight. So in 30 seconds, 3 stretches that you can do to help yourself alleviate neck pain. Stretch number 1 is if you go to the side, directly to the side, take your ear to your shoulder, and then you stretch. Hold for 15 seconds. That'll help you to stretch out scalings. Trapezius, what I want you to do is take your chin to your chest, and then you can stretch. You'll feel that, you'll know that stretch is working if it comes down to the mid V in your back. And for levator scapula, the one I want you to do is I want you to take your chin to your shoulder and look down. Take the shoulder that you're looking towards, reach your hand up, grab the back of your head, and pull. This shoulder, I want you to make it as much dead weight as possible. So what you're doing is you're creating length through that rope of muscle that goes from your shoulder blade up to those first 3 vertebrae. These 3 stretches have helped to change my life, and I know that if you take advantage of them as well, you will also help to cure the epidemic of pain in America. Thank you.